Most cuisines have maybe 2 or 3 ways to cook an egg. Fried, boiled, scrambled, and that is about it. Japan has a whole universe. One simple egg becomes a dozen completely different dishes. There is a rolled omelette, a slow-cooked egg, a jammy marinated egg, a silky steamed custard. And yes, one of them is eaten completely raw. No other cuisine treats the egg with quite this much variety, or this much care. In Japan, the egg is something close to an art form. It shows up at breakfast, in lunchboxes, on ramen, and in fine dining. Few ingredients work this hard. From a quick snack to a chef's showpiece, the egg does it all here. That range alone is worth a whole video. By the end of this video, you will see the egg the way a Japanese cook does. As one humble ingredient, with a dozen different personalities. This is your map of Japanese eggs. So let's decode it. There is one idea running through all of them. The egg is never an afterthought. It is treated as something worth precision and respect, whether it is being rolled, steamed, or simply cracked over rice. That attitude is the real thread here. Once you notice it, you see it in every dish on this list. The egg is always given real thought. So let's walk through the family, one dish at a time. And quickly, before we go deeper, thank you for actually watching this, instead of just scrolling past it. Stick around, because one of these is eaten completely raw, and it might change how you think about eggs. First, the most iconic. Tamagoyaki, the Japanese rolled omelette. If you have eaten at a sushi restaurant, you have probably had it. It is often the very last piece a chef serves. Tamagoyaki is not folded like a Western omelette. It is built from many thin layers of egg, cooked and rolled up one at a time. The cook pours a thin layer of beaten egg into a special rectangular pan. As it sets, they roll it, add more egg, and roll again. Layer after layer builds into a neat golden block, with beautiful stripes when you slice it. It takes real practice to get those even, tender layers. A skilled cook makes it look effortless, rolling and pouring in one smooth rhythm. Getting there takes years of quiet repetition. The classic version is slightly sweet, seasoned with sugar and soy. A chef's tamagoyaki is a quiet test of their skill. There is also a savory cousin called dashimaki tamago. It is made the same way, but soaked with dashi, so it is juicier and deeply savory instead of sweet. That version is so soft it almost trembles when you cut it. It is a real showpiece in a good Japanese kitchen. Next, a much gentler egg. Onsen tamago, the hot spring egg. This one is cooked slowly at a low temperature, so the yolk turns thick and custardy while the white stays soft and barely set. It is almost the reverse of a normal soft-boiled egg. It works because the yolk and white set at slightly different temperatures. Hold the egg in that narrow window, and only the yolk gives in. It is named after the hot springs where it was first cooked, in water at exactly the right gentle heat. It is served in a little dashi broth, or draped over rice and other dishes. Break it open, and the thick yolk melts into everything around it. It becomes an instant, silky sauce. Now, the one you have probably eaten already. The ramen egg. Its real name is Ajitsuke tamago, which means seasoned egg. It is a soft-boiled egg with a jammy, half-set yolk, marinated in a sweet soy mixture. That marinade soaks into the white, staining the outside brown and seasoning it all the way through. The color tells you how long it soaked, and a deeper brown means a bolder egg. Then it is halved and laid on top of a bowl of ramen. It is rich, savory, and a little sweet, with that perfect molten center. For many people, it is the best single bite in the whole bowl. Getting that jammy center just right is a small obsession for ramen cooks. Quick note before the second half. I have full, separate breakdowns of the ramen egg, the dashi, and the onsen egg, each has its own deep dive. You will find them at the end of this video and linked in the description. So if one grabs you, you can head straight there. Now for the one that surprises people the most. Tamago cake gohan, often just called TKG. This is simply a raw egg, cracked over a bowl of hot steamed rice, with a splash of soy sauce. You stir it together, and that is the whole dish. To a lot of people outside Japan, eating a raw egg sounds alarming. But Japanese eggs are produced to extremely high safety standards, specifically so they can be eaten raw. Eating raw egg is completely normal there, and has been for generations. It is a matter of trust in the quality. The hot rice gently warms the egg as you stir, turning it silky and creamy. It coats every grain in rich, savory comfort. There is something almost magical about how the heat of the rice does the cooking. No pan, no fire, just warmth. It is one of the simplest, most beloved comfort foods in Japan. A quick, cheap, perfect breakfast, made from almost nothing. People add their own touches, a little extra soy, some green onion, a dab of chili. But at its heart it never changes. Now to something much more refined. Chawanmushi, a savory steamed egg custard. Chawanmushi is made by mixing beaten egg with dashi, then gently steaming it until it just barely sets. The result is impossibly silky and soft, like a savory panna cotta. It is one of the few dishes you eat with a spoon but still call an egg dish. The texture is the whole point. Hidden inside are little treasures. A piece of chicken, a shrimp, a mushroom, a slice of fish cake, waiting under the smooth surface. Finding them is half the pleasure. Your spoon dips through the silk and discovers a little surprise. It is served warm in a small cup and eaten slowly. Delicate, soothing, and deeply savory from the dashi. It is often a gentle course in a larger meal. A quiet, warm pause between bolder dishes. And one more, a modern icon. The Japanese egg sandwich, or Tamago sando. This is a thick, fluffy egg salad, tucked between slices of soft, crustless white bread. The egg salad is rich, creamy, and just a little sweet. Part of the trick is Japanese mayonnaise, which is tangier and richer than the Western kind. It makes the filling silky and deep. You will find it in every convenience store in Japan, and it has become famous around the world. People genuinely travel and queue for the best ones. It is proof that even a simple sandwich gets the full egg treatment here. A convenience store staple, quietly elevated into something craveable. There are others too, out on the edges of the map. Omurice, a fluffy omelette draped over ketchup fried rice, is a beloved comfort dish all on its own. But here's what most people miss. There is no single Japanese way to cook an egg. The real thread is the attitude behind all of them. The egg is treated as something worth genuine care, no matter how humble the dish. A raw egg on rice gets the same respect as a delicate steamed custard. Both are made thoughtfully, and both are taken seriously. That is unusual. In most places, an egg is just a quick, cheap thing you barely think about. That is the real lesson. It is not about one perfect technique, but about seeing endless possibility in one ordinary ingredient. Japan looked at the plain egg and asked a simple question: how many wonderful things can this one thing become? And the answer, clearly, was a great many. Raw, rolled, jammy, steamed, and everything in between. That curiosity is what makes Japanese food so endlessly deep. Even the simplest thing becomes a small world. So here is your takeaway. Japanese egg dishes are not variations of one recipe. They are a whole family, united by care and precision, from a raw egg on rice to a silky steamed custard. One humble egg, treated a dozen thoughtful ways. Once you see that, you will never quite look at an egg the same way again. Now I would genuinely love to know, which of these would you try first, and would you dare to try the raw one? Tell me in the comments below. And here is the one moment I will actually ask. If this opened your eyes to the humble egg, leave a like, it really helps the channel grow. And subscribe if you want more of Japanese Food Decoded, one dish at a time. To go deeper right now, the video on the left breaks down the marinated egg that crowns a bowl of ramen. And on the right, you can decode miso, another pillar of Japanese flavor. See you in the next one.